If that's not a statement performance, I don't know what is. Welcome back to Palace Mad Mason. Hello everybody, it's Mason here. Welcome back to the channel. It is our first win away at Tottenham in 28 years in the Premier League. Yes, full time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. Our penultimate away game in the Premier League this season. Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 2. It was an absolutely dominant performance today. It could have been 5 or 6. Let's be real. With two disallowed goals, from Sarr and Lacroix. Alongside the 2 goals scored by Eze. Man of the match for me today was Eze. You know, the runs in behind, he's really improved in the last few games. I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's 5 goals for Eze in our last 4 competitive games. He scored against Arsenal, scored against Villa in the semi-final, scored against Nottingham Forest and got 2 today. So I'm right there. 5 goals in the last 4 games for Ebere Eze. The turnaround in form, we was questioning it around January, February time, has been immense from him, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. A lot of credit. And yeah, I just think that Crystal Palace today were absolutely exceptional. I couldn't have asked much more from them. You know, the 2 disallowed goals, Mateta marginally offside for Sarr's goal, and I think it was a gay handball from Lacroix, which, hey, look, if it's handball, it's handball. There's not much you can do about that. But you know, again, it could have been 5 or 6. You had that. You had Kinski for Tottenham making some unbelievable saves. 1 to deny Mateta from point blank range. 1 to deny Nketiah in the second half. I think Sarr missed a header from the 6-yard box. It could have been like an absolute thrashing. But 2-0, I'll take it to the final. Look, I know that Tottenham are not the finished product, far from it under Ange Postecoglou. 17th in the Premier League. They focused on the Europa League a lot more, and that shows with the Premier League form. That's just made it their 20th defeat of the season. With 2 games to go for them against Aston Villa and Brighton, it might be 22 defeats by the end of the season for Spurs, and they may genuinely finish 17th in the Premier League, and that's where we've put them at this moment in time. But you've got to give credit to how Crystal Palace played. We could have easily rested a lot of players and we could have said, hey, we couldn't care less about this game. But this was a game where Tottenham are preparing for a Europa League final. We're preparing for an FA Cup final. Who's the more prepared? And I think today it showed that it's us. With the FA Cup final in 6 days' time against Manchester City. I can't help but mention it, even though Glasner still doesn't really want much talk about it. It is around the corner. And the fact that we've come away from it unscathed, no suspensions, no injuries. The only thing we're really hoping for is Adam Wharton recovers before the final. And obviously we'll find out close to the date if he's available. I may make a preview for the FA Cup final on this channel, by the way. I think I will, because let's be real. In the 4 seasons I've done this channel, this is the biggest video yet. It's the biggest video yet. FA Cup final never happened on the channel. Last final was in 2016. But yeah, let's get back to the Tottenham game because I'm going off topic here. I think there's a couple of players today that deserve more credit than they were given. Munoz on that right-hand side was absolutely brilliant. Yes, he did make quite a bad decision in the first half for trying to pass it to Mateta in an offside position rather than shooting himself. He did hit the bar in another chance in the first half as well. He was unbelievable down that right-hand side, and Tottenham could not cope with him. Simple as. Same with Ismaila Sarr, getting forward. Mark Guéhi at the back. I don't give him a lot of credit normally, but I don't, you know, put a dampener on it. He's quite, I wouldn't say average. It's just expectant of him to play well with the price tag we put on him in the summer from when Newcastle wanted him. But my goodness, today, he was a rock in that defence. He was absolutely solid. If he can take that to the final against the Man City side, who drew at bottom of the league, Southampton, by the way. Not going to pretend that we didn't do that earlier in the season. But you know what? I'm confident that, not that we'll win the FA Cup, because that would be ridiculous in saying that, even though we are in the final. But I'm confident that we can give Manchester City a game. And that is what I want in the final, with the hope of us coming out on top. And that is what I want. It will transform the club completely. Again, don't want to go off topic of the FA Cup. That will all be in the preview. But I can't wait. Can you? I can't. Looking at the Premier League table, we are 12th. We can't mathematically finish any lower than 12th, with Everton being 7 points behind us with 2 games left. So we will finish minimum 12th. With an FA Cup final, I will take that. But looking at how many points we're on, we have reached the highest points tally we've ever reached in a Premier League season, tied with another season. I can't remember exactly what season it was, on 49 points. So if we avoid defeat against Wolves in our last home game of the season, then we will reach our highest ever points total in the Premier League. I know a lot of Palace fans, including me, ain't thinking about that right now because we're in a final in 6 days' time, but that is also something to add to the season. Our highest ever points tally in the Premier League with an FA Cup final and the Carabao Cup quarter-final, don't forget, as well, which we don't normally do well in that competition. This season's been progress, in my opinion. It's been progress, especially looking at the start of the season that we had. Let's not forget, our first win of the season was the reverse fixture of this, where we won 1-0 against Tottenham. It's our first ever double over Spurs in our Premier League history. Like, absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Like, it's absolutely brilliant. The fact that, you know, we've made so much progress since that day where Mateta scored the only goal in a 1-0 win. We still didn't look too great going forward. Defensively, we did improve in that game. But obviously, we've had a little bit of hiccups here and there with the 2-1 defeat at home to Brentford, 2-1 defeat at home to Everton. But the improvement is really starting to show. It's just a shame that through the Premier League, it's, again, like last season, ending too soon. Because I feel like we could have gone somewhere if we had a few more games left. But there you go. Can't have everything. But the next video is the preview to the FA Cup final. You won't want to miss it. You will not want to miss that. And then it's the big one. FA Cup final vlog on Palace Mad Mason. Never thought I'd be making an FA Cup final vlog, especially after our defeat in that competition in the final 9 years ago against Manchester United. But yeah, like, I'm struggling to find words about it, to be honest, because I don't really know what to say at this point. I'm still in shock that we're in the final and we're only 6 days until the final. But it's going to be the big one. It will transform the club. Again, it will mean Europa League football next season if we win it. Simple as. Can't put it more blunt than that. It will transform next season's videos, next season's content. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. A good win against Spurs, a rare win away at Spurs. Very happy with the performance today. Can't ask for anything more. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys during the week for the preview.